What's up guys, Jeremy here with LSAPC, and in today's video we are going to be ranking every one of the Funko NFT drops. Let's get into it. And here it is, 37 NFT drops. I took out all the bonus drops. There are 37 main drops in the Funko NFT universe, and I'm going to be ranking each of them on an S tier being the absolute best, A, very good, B, good, C would be average or below average, and F would be, what were you thinking, Funko? F is for Funko. How's that? All right, obviously this is a personal experience and your opinion may be different than mine. This is simply my opinion. Let me know down in the comments if you disagree and if you think something should be in a different tier. I'm going to be ranking these based on my experience with the NFTs themselves, with the redeemables that come along with them, all of the things that we know about these drops. I'm going to be taking all that into consideration as I rank these. So the first one we have up is Adventure Time. I'm going to go ahead and put Adventure Time based on, it's very well known in the younger generation, not so much in the older generation. I'm going to go ahead and put it right here as a B. I didn't think it was awful. I didn't think it was average or below average. So I'm going to put it right there in that good space. The redeemables are kind of cool. The NFTs themselves are pretty cool. I like a few things about it, but ultimately, I'm just going to put it right there in the good category. All right, April Fools. This one might get some people. I'm not real sure where to put this. I think based on what it is, it's an S tier. I think it's a great set. It was a surprise set, and there were some really cool things like the baby Freddy as the redeemable royalty, the Freddy holding Max Token head. Certainly put it in the S tier. I think the Grail is phenomenal. I just think that legendary egg maybe knocks it down to the A tier, and just kind of the repetitive nature of the NFTs themselves. So for now, I'm going to put the April Fools into the A tier. That might be the first thing you all disagree with me on. It'll be interesting to see. Next up, we have Avatar. I think Avatar was a good set. Certainly not for my taste. But as an anime set and one of the only and first and only, I guess, I'm going to go ahead and put it in very good. I think the redemptions were really nice. I think it was a very popular set. And so I thought the cards were very well done. The animations were very well done. So I'm going to go ahead and put Avatar in the A series. Next up, we got Big Boy. Ooh, Big Boy kind of tanked. It wasn't great. It was off the heels of TMNT, so it didn't do outstanding. But it is a staple of the Funko universe, and for that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in C. I'm not going to put it in F because I understand what they were doing, and some of the redemptions were pretty cool, but overall, it just didn't do very well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in C. Now, Bob Ross, I'm a bit biased. I love this set. This was the first set not to sell out, or I don't know if it didn't sell out or if they yanked it and pulled it because of some controversy that was going on. Very low redemption rate. The Grail and the Freddy, the royalty, were fantastic. To me, would put it in S tier. The legendaries lacked a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put Bob Ross. Even though I'm a huge Bob Ross fan, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the A category as good. I know a lot of you thinking, well, what do you got to do to get into the S category? But we'll get there. All right, Dark Knight Trilogy. Surprise, honestly. The Dark Knight Trilogy set was, I expected something that I didn't get, I guess I would say. I didn't like it overall myself, but that Harvey Dent Grail certainly put it in the realm of great. I'm going to put that one in the A category because the NFTs were really cool, and ultimately the redemptions were also pretty stellar. Very good for a Funko drop. Like the animations, like the set overall. Surprised me because I didn't think I would. That was going to be a hard pass for me, but there you go. DC Series 1, I'm going to put in B. DC Series 1 had all of the, most of the main players except Wonder Woman. That was my biggest problem with it. The redemptions were okay, but, Freddy is Batman and, all the NFTs we already have. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the good category, but certainly not great. And to follow that up with DC Series 2, I think it was even lower than DC Series 1. I'm going to put that right here in C tier, and I'm going to move it over. If I can, I can't, but I would say it's a little bit better than Big Boy. Next up, we have Dungeons & Dragons. I thought Dungeons & Dragons was going to be a flop. I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't even think I was going to get in on this set. As I did, I started to enjoy it, and I actually think the redeemables themselves are very good. I'm going to put Dungeons and Dragons in the unexpected A tier as a very good set, in my opinion. Elf. All right, so I got some issues with Elf. I thought Elf was a great drop. I love the concept behind Elf. I love the movie. I like the redeemables. I liked all that stuff. My biggest issue with it is, were they trying to line up the redemptions with the season, or were they, because they certainly weren't trying to line up the drop with the season. This would have been a great, probably an A tier if it came out around Christmas and gave us a little bit more excitement around then. But based on the seasonality of it and a lot of repetitive cards, tons of Buddy the Elf NFTs over and over again. For the repetitive nature of that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the good category in B. Fantastic plastic. Now, I absolutely love this set, but due to size, lack of redemptions, all of those things, not a very popular set. I'm going to go ahead and put it in C because I think overall, compared to a lot of these other sets, it definitely is going to go on the lower end. I almost want to put it into an F because of the what were you thinking not having redeemables, but based on it being one of the first sets ever dropped, I get it. They're experimenting. They're trying to figure out new things. So there you go. Next up, we have the Flintstones. You guys know that I would automatically throw Flintstones up into the S tier. Absolutely, hands down, my personal grail. I love this set. I like most of the things about it. I thought there were a few issues with the cards themselves. The grail being the chef hat with the fork, it's a little bit weird for me, so I'm not real sure what they were thinking there. The lack of, Betty and Bam Bam and some of those things as well. I don't know. I'm just a little bit, I don't think the redeemables were great, but I really did love the animations and all those things. I thought the back of the card could have used a little bit of work. A lot of sets get a lot of love to the back of the card. This one did not. I'm putting this in the great category in an A, just below S tier, because there was just a little bit, I thought they could do more with it. All right, so we got Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was an interesting one. A lot of people I know absolutely loved it. A lot of people I know passed on it completely. There are a lot of Game of Thrones fans out there still. I thought it was a very good set. I thought it was a good set. I didn't think it was a great set. This was also the first time that we had a set that didn't have a Freddy as the royalty. I think overall it did well, but it didn't match up with another set that's coming up. We'll get into later. I'm going to put it into the B tier as a good set. Excuse me. Next up, we have Halloween Series 1. This was the first all Freddy redemption, all Freddy cards, Freddy to the core, all Halloween themed. Hands down, best set we've seen. I can't, there's a couple other sets that I'm going to contend with it, but right here, I'm putting the first Halloween Freddy as S tier. Thought it was phenomenal and pretty excited when those all came out. The Grail, the royalty, every part of that. Had our first soda, I believe. There might have been a soda before, but I think that was our first soda NFT. That was fantastic. Really cool set, and I absolutely loved it. Halloween Series 2 I thought was absolutely phenomenal as well, but not quite as good as Season 1 or Series 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put Halloween Series 2, based on the redemptions only, down into the A category. Again, all Freddy's, very cool line, very cool set. Animations were good, but I thought the animations were repetitive, and so it just felt like all the cards were the same. So here we go. We're going to put Halloween Series 2 into the A category. Next up, we have HannaBarbera Series 1. Now, Series 1 was interesting because it had, Huckleberry Hound as the Grail, and then it had three of the Jetsons as the legendaries. I'm not real sure I understand what they were thinking there or why they were doing that. There's so many options within Hanna-Barbera. I'm a huge Hanna-Barbera fan, so I thought there was a lot they could have done with it, but this one left a lot to be desired. I'm going to put it in the good category because I did like some of the redemptions. I did get them all, but it just wasn't really great, and it certainly wasn't S tier. Hanna-Barbera Series 2. Again, this one pains me because as Hanna-Barbera Series 2 came out, we had another Huckleberry Hound Grail, followed by Jinx the Cat with Pixie and Dixie, and two other things that nobody's ever even heard of. I thought this set was a complete flop. Apparently all of the buyers do too, because it doesn't sell and you can get a premium pack for under $20. That is an absolute hands down F. What was Funko thinking? They had so many options, so many things they could have done with Hanna-Barbera Series 2, and that's what they gave us. Very odd choice. Not a fan. Not a fan. All right, so the horror set. Now, the horror set was very cool, introducing to us the first NFTs with sound. Now, I wish they do a lot more of that, but they don't, and they haven't. They've only done it with, I think, April Fools and this horror line, but I would love to see more of that in NFTs to come. However, having said that, the horror line had some great redemptions. I thought it was a winner. I'm going to put it up into the S tier. I absolutely love that set and think the redemptions are going to be fantastic. All right, on to House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon, similar to Game of Thrones, came out, very new series, one of the hottest shows on TV, absolutely great content from a TV show standpoint, and the NFTs are no less. They matched it on every level. Great redemptions. Again, no Freddy as a royalty, but that's okay. I think that this set did really, really well capturing what the show's about. I thought the animations were great. I liked everything about it. I don't think it's quite an S tier, but I definitely am going to put it right there in the A tier, and I would probably move it to the front of the line of the A tier because I do think that is I'll put it right there. That is one of the best A tier NFT sets that we've got. Really borderlining on that S tier. Next up, we have Iron Maiden. I really enjoyed the Iron Maiden NFT set. That was but it was kind of a niche one. You know, not everybody is a big Iron Maiden fan, but I think their connection with Funko was great. I thought it was very good. I thought the redeemables were really cool. I don't think they were spectacular. I'm going to go ahead and put Iron Maiden into the B category. Now, our most recent drop, we had It. I had very low expectations for It because what could they possibly do that they haven't already done? Another Freddy wise, another, Pennywise, I just didn't know what they can do. And despite that, they actually, I think, did very, very well with the set as a whole. I love the redemptions. I like the leper. I like Patrick Hofstetter. I like I don't know. I like all of those redeemables. I thought they were genuinely good considering what they could have been. There could have just been all the same characters we've already got. It lacks a little bit because of the Pennywise Grail and also the Freddy Wise, the new Freddy Wise that we already have something similar. So I'm going to put it in the A tier because I think they did really well with it, but just fell short of great. Next up, we got Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob was a fantastic set. I loved it. It was a very small set, easy to complete, had the most controversial probably Funko Pop to date in the Jay with no pants. I thought that was wonderful and picked up several of those for that reason. But here we are. I'm going to put Jay and Silent Bob in the A tier. Very, very good set. All right, Kellogg's is up next. I'm going to put Kellogg's based on the redemptions alone. The set was cool. Everybody loves ad icons, but the redemptions, Sugar Pop Pete, Coco the Monkeys, some of those, they're cool, but they just really, who knew? I don't really know anything about those, and I'm old, so I don't really understand it. I thought they could have done so much better with that. Plus, it's just the wrong line, in my opinion. General Mills would have been cool because of the cereal monsters, that kind of thing. I'm going to go ahead and put Kellogg's in tier C as average at best. Next up, we got Sid and Marty Croft. All right, so Sid and Marty Croft, in my mind, goes directly down into the F category. The only redeeming saving grace on that is the Freddy Sleestack. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the C category. I think overall it was just too niche. I love HR Puffin stuff, and I love Land of the Lost and those kind of things, but it's just a very generational thing, and I just don't think it was a big hit overall. All right, Looney Tunes is up next. Looney Tunes is a solid A, no question about it. Love the Foghorn Leghorn. I love the Yosemite Sam. We got another Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. The Freddy as Bugs Bunny. I think it was a great hit all in all. Because of the Wile E. Coyote being the Grail and the Roadrunner being the Legendary, I think it's missed the S tier. I think they could have done a lot more with it, but it is nice to see the Looney Tunes set, and I absolutely love it. I'm putting it as a high A. Actually, I'm going to put it way up here. So definitely strong A. All right, and up next we have The Matrix. The Matrix is actually a very popular set. I'm not sure what the draw to it was. I absolutely love the movie, the original movie. Then I thought they got a little bit less and less as they went. But I liked the trilogy. I liked the movie. I thought it was a good set, but it was very repetitive. It was all the same thing, all the same animations, it felt like. You had basically 4 or 5 characters, and they just repeated. So every time you opened a pack, it was just the same stuff over and over and over again. However, the redemptions were cool. I personally put The Matrix down in the C tier as average at best. I think a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but so be it. That's where I want to put it. My Little Pony is coming up next, and My Little Pony was one that came out of left field. Nobody expected it. I didn't think it would even sell out. Everybody thought it was ridiculous, and then it went on market and sold out quickly. The redemptions were cool. The NFTs themselves were pretty cool. I actually enjoyed the set, but I don't think it was great, and I don't think it was bad. So I'm going to put it right there in the B column as a good drop. Nickelodeon Series 2, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm all over the board with this one. Ed Bighead and Winslow I thought were complete misses putting it down here. I thought that Cynthia was okay putting it right here in the B to C category. I think that Rocco is probably just an odd grail, so certainly down here in these. But man, that Freddy Reptar is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to have to put this in B because of the royalty alone. The cards were cool, but not as cool as that Reptar Freddy, which I think is one of the best Freddys to date, although maybe top 7, I don't know. But a very good Freddy, I like it. So that one's going to go there, followed by Nick Series 1. I love the redemptions a lot more. Enjoyed the Rugrats and the superhero characters and all that kind of stuff. I liked the redemptions better on that. But overall, as a set, I thought it lacked, I don't know, it lacked a little something. So I'm going to go ahead and put Nickelodeon as also as a B. And I'm going to put that behind Series 2, which I thought was slightly better than Series 1. Next up, we have Power Rangers. Power Rangers was very popular to a lot of people, and I thought was a very good set for the community. I don't know a lot about Power Rangers. My inclination would be to put this in a B as a good, but I think based on the redemptions and the response from the community, I'm going to go ahead and put that into the A category as a great. I think most people would agree with me, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Next up, we have Retro Toys. Retro Toys, I think, pretty much missed the mark on every level. So many opportunities to do great things with it. I outside of the pack opening music and the animation on that, it just didn't do it for me. So I'm putting Retro Toys down in the F column. Wish it didn't exist, and whatever. We'll get the redemptions when they come in. All right, so next up we have Retro Comics. Retro Comics was one of the first major lines that I got in on. I loved it. I loved the Popeye. I loved the Bluto and all. I loved everything about it, and I thought the Freddy as Popeye was fantastic as well. I don't think it was outstanding to be in an S tier. I definitely personally think it was great, but I think because of the niche itself being more my age and older kind of thing, I'm going to have to go ahead and put it down here in B. Not a lot of people bought into the Flash Gordon and Bluto and Popeye, and I understand that, so we're going to go ahead and put that into the B column, even though I think it's a probably an A myself. ScoobyDoo, hands down, no question about it. In my opinion, the absolute best set that Funko has done so far. ScoobyDoo is going into the S tier. Great animations, great characters, great redemptions. Loved everything about it. Our second Funko Soda as a redemption in the Witch Doctor. Loved everything about this. Can't wait to see what they do with the Series 2 if they do it. Hopefully they'll come out with some more of the main characters. But I loved all the other legendaries that they had. The Snow Ghost and Redbeard and all that stuff. All right, next up we got Star Trek. Star Trek, I thought from an animation standpoint was really good, and I loved that it was Blacklight, the first Blacklight set of NFT Funko Pops. Because of that, I thought that it was a huge set, by the way, but because of the quality of the NFTs themselves and also the redemptions that I really liked, and being Blacklight, I'm putting that into the A tier as great. TMNT, I think most everybody would agree with me. The first NFT set, hands down, top of the list, S tier, great redemptions. Yes, the Leonardo Grail was not quite as cool in person as it was advertised, but from a standpoint of the entire drop, that thing was awesome. I loved it. They had different things like Blacklight, Bebop. They had the metallic shredder. They had that Grail that was, well, I don't even know what you call it, but super cool. Hands down, TMNT goes into the S category. Next up, we'll do Teen Titans Go. I thought it was a good set. I don't think it was great. I think the redemptions were okay. I definitely wouldn't put it into C tier because I don't think it was average or below average, but I don't want to say as far as it was great. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into the B category as good. And then the last one we have is Transformers. And as far as I'm concerned, Transformers goes right up here on top into the S tier as well, and certainly going to be up here. Let me see if I can line these up the way I want to. Probably going to do, for me personally, I'm probably going to do this lineup with Scooby-Doo being the highest overall, followed by Transformers, then TMNT, Halloween, and then the horror set. The horror set should probably be an A tier, but I'm a little bit partial. First animations with sound. I love that lineup. Love those redemptions, so that's why it's there. Those are my top 5 sets so far to date, and this is how I rank the rest of them. So let me know down in the comments below what you think. Am I absolutely crazy? Have I lost my mind? Do you agree with the rankings that I gave? Hopefully you enjoyed the content and can let me know what you think. I hope you are all doing well. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and do all those good things. And we will see you in the next one.